This might be the last time that you ever see us, but hell, we're going out with a bang because we will not be silenced.
Whoa!
Speaking of people who don't use silencers, we've got a good buddy with me today. He's also part of the GCA ABF.
Yes, they're called suppressors. I don't use silencers.
Yeah, but for the movies and the retards that are going to be the ones that try to take this video down, we have to call them silencers. That way they know what we're talking about.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Always got to stay one step ahead, which is why we're prefacing this in the first place, because we have to talk about the SmashJT versus Alyssa Mercante lawsuit. Now, what do you already know about this, ABF?
She's a vile human being that is latching on to wanting people to social change and doesn't like that people are talking about her on the internet, shining light on her.
Yeah, she really hates that. She prefers to be behind a camera, or so I hear.
She likes being the center of attention, but doesn't she doesn't like having people making fun of her.
Okay, so to bring all of this to the forefront, and we're just going to talk about things that have released because now litigation has started and both sides have lawyered up. So, this one, and trust me, we will get into how this all started in the first place, how this little beef between the two of them began. But we're just going to start real quick with today's article. So it has just come out today that she has been caught in conflicts of truth as the gaming community is rallying around SmashJT. If you don't know him, he's a popular YouTuber and used to do he used to be a part of Hypnotic. If you don't know him, just for legal purposes, let's start this off with the full disclosure from that Park Place that the personality that's known as SmashJT is represented by Ron Coleman and the Dillon Law Firm, whose lead attorney is nominated for Assistant Attorney General of the U.S. Now, that's some clout right there. Furthermore, the Park Place is a subsidiary of the company which has provided donations, so they have to let just to save their own butts. So we understand with that. So just to start it off by filing her lawsuit against Smash JT. I don't know if we want to call him Smash or Smash JT or just JT because his real name or his real last name will be used later on, but I'm just gonna call him Smash. While subsequently revealing his home address to the world, yes, he was doxxed by her. She got caught in a potential mistruth that could prove important legally. And to make matters worse, she thought she could kind of, it seems like she thought she could kind of like use her clout and money and probably pro bono activist lawyers to force him out of all of his money and his child's college fund and everything like that, which we will go into more. But the gaming community rallied around him, easily raising that 25K in order to keep him on retainer. And he has got someone big in the corner. He's got Mike Tyson in his prime in the corner.
Everybody knows who Ron Coleman is.
So going back to that potential myth truth in question, when she announced that she was leaving Kotaku this fall, the writer and editor made it clear that she was walking out of her own accord, also putting that little tweet that got viral over there, also kiss my ass. She said that before the layoffs happened, she had already put in her notice she was going to leave. But news has come to light, perhaps by her own admission.
Yeah, she was fired.
Mhm. Because when she released her lawsuit citing stochastic behavior, defamation, bias related violence or intimidation, intentional infliction or of emotional distress, and tortious interference. I'm assuming tortious comes from like torts, like a law term. So she was definitely coached on that. There was an interesting bit of information dropped into page 47, and this is her lawsuit against Smash. Interesting. So, as a direct and proximate result, which is both synonymous and redundant, result of Tarzia's unlawful harassment, by the way, that is JT's last name, Alyssa lost her job and had her contract bought out by her now former employer. So, did she really quit, or was she? This was like a push to resign with
Yeah.
dignity.
So Kotaku had a big falling out to where they actually were requiring all of their writers to start doing game guides. And they were complaining about how many game guides they were asked to do, and everybody on the internet said, "Boo hoo! You have to write game guides for a game journalism company." They got mad that they couldn't make articles about Trump.
Wow. Who'd have thunk? So it would seem that Mercante wasn't being truthful when she told the world that she decided to leave it to seek new opportunities. ABF, I think you had a little story to tell about the new opportunities that immediately cropped up after she left.
Right, yeah. So she works for Kotaku, which is I forget the parent company's name, but they also own Gizmodo, Jalopnik, and several others. And she did write articles for them as well.
So on top of that evidence coming out, Smash went on and he said he needed to raise 25K for a legal retainer, and he went to Go Send Go, if I'm not mistaken about that website. I think it comes up later. And within 24 hours, he had raised an excess of 43. So now that means he's retained Ron Coleman, and he was very clear in his official response to the Mercante cease and desist letter. So do you want to read this one for me? Because this is absolutely hilarious.
Your assertion that Miss Mercante would prevail if this matter were taken to court is not only unfounded, but is transparently empty threat. Coleman wrote to Mercante's attorney. In fact, as you are doubtless aware, if these claims were litigated in either New York or California, they would not only be dismissed, but it is your client who would be exposed to potentially liability under the anti-SLAPP laws in both states.
He came out swinging. He's not going to let this horse shit like lay there.
Well, he immediately had his lawyer uh, try to censor the current lawsuit because it doxed him.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to get that part taken out, I believe.
I believe you could just go to a judge and get that redacted from um, all public information, at
Yeah,
least for now.
and her address wasn't included, but his was. So something doesn't seem fair there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely doesn't. However, the legal loopholes are something that I don't quite understand. And especially when you're going into not only interstate commerce, but like being tried in different courts across different states. They all have their own law.
And this all came 2 months after a cease and desist letter was sent to Smash. And in it was all kinds of demands, basically saying that he had to put out a video saying that he apologizes and he has to give as much attention to that video on all the different platforms as he has with every single other video that he's made about Alyssa, which is pretty stupid. I I would not have given into that either.
So basically, what you're telling me is don't bend the knee because this is not the time for any of us to bend the knee to any of these people.
Right. And plus, I mean, even if he did bend the knee, imagine how terrible that would look for his channel
I
and
think
just for free speech alone.
I think by the article that I'm about to show you and the rest of y'all, if y'all don't know, it's way more than just his channel that was at stake. So, in order to fully try to understand a little bit more about this, we have to go back to how this little beef started. So, when he started his Kotaku Detected website, it got taken down and returns after a coordinated takedown attempt by mainstream video game press. This all, by the way, that's Smash in case you don't know who he is. This all started in May of this year, actually, the very beginning of May. So on May the 3rd, Tarziga, who is Smash, reported on Mercante misrepresenting Krytivo CEO Alex Koshlikov. He is very Russian. After the farm folks' perfect breast jiggle physics, or Jizzix as we know him in the GCA, Mercante quoted him in a way that suggested he was against those upset over the apology. But Koshlikov revealed their Discord messages and exposed her refusal to amend the quote. So This is kind of where it all started. And this is how SmashJT got a hold of all this information when she was forced to apologize and update the quote to provide the full context. And then that's when he covered it on his YouTube channel and accused her of being a former worker of the night. What is accusation in legal terms? Is it making a joke? Is it playing off of something that she said herself? What do you think, ABF?
I I don't know. I think that she was trying to be funny and the joke didn't land, but you don't call yourself a former sex worker on the internet without without things getting out of control.
Mm-hmm. Especially when she admits that she is a former cam girl. We all know what they do, and it's all for money. Therefore, you are a worker for people to do whatever they feel like. So, just 3 days later, on the May on May the 6th, that's when he starts the End Kotaku campaign that will forever go down in history. And that was the pivotal voice in the gaming industry, yet fallen from grace with journalists behaving more like activists. And so he launched this petition to take down Kotaku. I don't know if you signed this. I did not know about this guy at this time.
I didn't either actually, but I appreciate what he was trying to do because Kotaku has fallen and it's not the same company that it was when I started reading articles on it. They used to talk
True.
about actual games. They used to tell me cool things coming out. They would tell me about cool cars and cool gizmos. Now it's just a vessel to complain about Trump on it now.
All right, and then there's something that I just realized the time, like the date. So then, like literally one day after Smash put up that thing on the 7th, I guess they were already in talks. That's when he shared the DMs that Alyssa was already sending to him and his wife. So that's just a day after. She was on it. Like she was watching it like a hawk.
Yeah, I remember Smash talking about that day. He said that his wife came up to him and was like, "Do you know someone named Alyssa Mercante?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we've been talking." And she's like, "Well, she sent me a message. I think it was like on Facebook or something like that." And that's really weird to try to go after someone's family member and like turn them against you.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when it's your wife. Wait, were they married at the time?
I believe so.
Okay. I mean, I would think so. They have a kid together, but yeah, that I mean that's even more crazy. And all right, let's just go on and get full sexist. That's like a woman thing to do. Let me turn that other woman against the man. This really goes to show what Kotaku had become and what this person, Alyssa Mercante, seems to be all about, in my opinion.
Yeah, and by doing that move too, you can see how much like vitriol and like spite that she has behind everything, you know? Like she probably was only thinking about Smash.
Probably so. And he did said there she goes into a point that it may even embolden men because obviously we can control our chats. We control our comment section. That's not how the freaking internet works. Get over yourself. Because the latter part of that stems from T sharing a post where someone in the comment section said that they would end her in VR and he deleted it as soon as he was made aware of it, but then she still tried to bring it up as if it was his doing in the first place. So this is another representation of the kind of people that they are. They will say and do the exact same dadgum things and never look back, never apologize. But then whenever they see a fan or a follower of someone they disagree with do it, they hold that person who owns the channel accountable as if they are accountable, as then they're God King overlords.
Yeah, don't make threats like that to anybody. It's not doing anyone any good. But you can't control it either.
So basically, that's like the childhood playground tit for tat that like a butch woman and an actual man are having on the playground, like a tomboy and a real man. And it's back when they're both still flat chested and just scruffing it out on the playground. That basically goes on for a long time, but now it's getting litigious. But that started in May. There's a lot more that came with that, and I think you have a lot more to tell me.
Yeah, so she had her G4 Frosk moment when they were all sitting on a couch. She had a microphone and started telling everybody how great she is, how people have been mad at her, and how much of a girl boss she is. And then looks straight in the camera and says, "Fight me physically." It's just the most ridiculous thing. And then that was kind of a big moment. Everybody started digging into her tweets, and everyone kind of found out that she was like simping on Hassan for a while. Like he kept making these posts that he was in New York, and she would reply to that and say, "When are we meeting up?" or "How come you didn't tell me you were coming into town?" and stuff like that. He never replied to them, but she kept basically just like being a groupie for Hassan, and everyone was like, "Well, this adds up because she seems insane. Of course, she would be listening to him." And I think people made a bunch of videos about that, and that got her even more mad.
It wouldn't surprise me, especially it should probably be even more mad because her advances were shunned and spurned. If he didn't even respond back, maybe he was away from his chair. He's good at that.
Yeah, and I believe that she was doing that in like 2022, so it was like a few years before all of this went down. And as far as the
Um,
timeline, it's kind of funny that people were able to find that.
man, I will tell you one thing. I used to watch OTV. Well, maybe I shouldn't name drop. I mean, they are big channels and everything. People that I used to watch that I found like during COVID, and it was just video games. And I found out all the drama that is related. Yes, they're all millionaires. They're all highly successful, but just the amount of drama that is surrounding them at all times. It's like, who would want to be a part of that? I don't think any amount of money is worth this kind of crap.
Yeah, and I think if Alyssa Mercante actually became like a large YouTuber, she would have a lot of weirdness around her as well.
I feel like she'd cancel her. Well, she's basically doing that right now, and she's not even that big, I guess.
Yeah,
If
but
she even is a YouTuber.
I'm just happy that people showed up in a really big way to support Smash because it does feel like we're winning the culture war, and this is like the last bit of trash that we need to clean up.
Yeah. And like we said, they will try to maybe shadow ban this. They'll try to keep it out of the algorithm, but that's why we both decided behind the scenes like we're going to put this out anyway because we won't be silenced.
Yeah, and I may or may not be at the top of that donation list, so
Hmm.
far no hate's come my way, but I'm expecting it. So
You don't miss. If you were aiming for the top, you got the top. Well, just to take it out for us, man, there's one last thing that I want to do and just ask you a question. Just see how you feel about it.
all right.
Okay, so after her firing, and this is from today from Media Bias Fact Check, which I don't even know if it's credible, but it always comes up at the top of every like bias checker. Obviously, they're saying that their bias is left center. Do you think when she was around, it was more over here?
I do, and I also think that that is probably in the wrong spot. Still, it should be at least left.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. I don't know where they get their sources from, but also says their factual reporting is high.
Because they report on video games, you can't refute the things that they're saying, about the video games is probably true, but they slip narrative in every single thing that they do. So
Okay,
you can't even read an article without getting hit by climate change or some sort of identity politics.
gotcha. I wasn't setting anybody up for a joke. I was legitimately asking you because I was like, I don't even know if any of these websites are trustworthy. But we all know that's like Snopes is a scam. But some of those so bias and credibility websites, sometimes they do actually have their finger on the pulse of what they're doing, but sometimes they're also giving them more leeway than maybe they should.
Yeah. And also after the election, it does seem like people are kind of recoiling. All these different media groups are.
Hmm. Well, yeah, obviously the people spoke. Well, hey, man, that's about all we got for this time. I appreciate you coming on and talking with me. I know you actually know him, so I wanted to get somebody on that might have a little bit more insight because I'm only reading articles and occasionally see him on streams. So I appreciate you making the time, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him, but we talk in DMs once in a while. So
Cool beans. I know I wish him the best from everything that I've heard. He seems like a really cool stand up guy. And it doesn't even matter if you disagree with him doxing someone, going behind their backs to like try to talk to their spouse or significant other, involving family members. If we cannot agree that that is 100% wrong, no matter where you sit, then come on. We're not going to agree on anything, are we?
yeah, no, Smash is a genuine dude, and he makes great content.
Yeah, so go check him out. I would say just from the other side of the aisle, go check her out. Make up your own mind for yourself. Basically, what we're doing, we're reporting the news that has been reported that is going to a lawsuit. So all that will come out in discovery anyway, at least the stuff that hasn't already. So that's all we're doing. We're talking, we're pontificating. We are talking heads. We are pundits. We are not journalists. But until next time, this is Multi.
ABF.
Heck yeah. Y'all have a good one. Bye bye.
The first time I did a video with Mo, he ended up just cutting me out and Nagranol, I think, and just using his. And we were
Oh,
just
that
there as
one.
like moral support. So
Next, we are then treated to. We're treated. I remember that video.